In this video we are going to review the Böker Plus Mini Tracker in 1095.
As always, we're going to start off with the specifications. We have a blade length of 13.5 centimeters, a blade thickness of 5 millimeters, handle length of 11.5 centimeters. The weight are 270 grams. Steel is 1095, and the handle material is green canvas micarta.
So, the Böker Plus Mini Tracker. This knife has been out on the market for a couple of years now, and I've also owned it for a couple of years. Modified the handle a bit, used it a lot. As you can see, the coating is gone on this area already. Lots of scratches. I did mirror polish it once, but also the mirror polish or the mirror is already scratched. So I thought it's time for a long-term review. So let's start with batoning some wood. This piece has a couple of knots. And the Böker Plus EXT1 that we reviewed recently actually kind of failed on this piece. So now I'm going to try with the Böker Plus Mini Tracker. It has 5mm thick blade stock, so it's quite a lot beefier. Let's see how it does. Shit. Okay. So, because you have such a thick grind up here, and also a convex that part, but it's rather thick up there. You have the 5mm thick blade stock. This tool, or this knife, can split very well. Very nice. And here I have a fairly long piece of wood. It's not as thick as the last one, but it's longer. Let's see how it does. Very nice. See how twisted this piece of wood is. Crazy. It's like all the wood in this forest. Fucking twisted. So yeah, knife can definitely baton or split some wood. There's no problems with tools like these. Now, of course, you shouldn't go overboard with this. You baton like giant piece of wood, but pretty much everything you could span with this blade length, the knife will split, in my experience. So let's see how it does with feather sticking. Piece of wood doesn't seem to be good for that though. Try to split it once more. Yeah, I can try this. So this is a tracker, and because of that you have this tracker tooth. So now you can feather stick just as with a regular knife like that, or you could pull the knife up like that, and you would get feather sticks. So I would just say we start with the regular way though. So start with that. And this section we have a hollow grind, so right there, it's not super slicey because it's still 5mm thick blade stock, but it does slice fairly well. This wood is just not. It's nice. I'm gonna try a different piece. So it does. Now I've put a secondary convex onto the hollow ground section, and with that, it just feather sticks fairly well. It's not as nice as like, you know, a skinny ground bushcraft blade, but you can definitely do it. Let's see it there. So, I want to try the thing that makes this knife a tracker knife. Notice that tooth. So, in my opinion, the tracker knife design has two advantages compared to other knife designs, or just this, you know, massive steel in the front. And there's one, you know, that you can pull the knife up like that to get curls, so which is very easy. I've seen a lot of people that struggle to do regular feather sticks, having pretty much no problems making curls like this, because it is very, very easy. As you can see, like there. And the second advantage, in my opinion, is chopping part. So even though this knife isn't really big, because of all the material here in the front and the balance of the knife, it can chop fairly well, which you're going to see later in the video. But yeah, the feather sticking part of this knife is just awesome, especially like this. That's one of the things I really like tracker knife designs. It's really easy and you get, you know, good amount of curls fairly quickly. So there you have that. Very nice curls. So now the spine of this knife is also rather special, because this part of the spine, it has a 90-degree edge up here, and the front part right here is rounded. So when you're batoning, you're not going to damage your batoning stick as quickly, but you can use this part for instance, scraping wood, like this. Everything fell off. So you can create tinder like that. Very nice. And you can also strike the fire steel with it. I've also used this knife with a flintstone to create sparks. That also works very well because, you know, it's a carbon steel, so the knife can do that. But let's just use the fire steel here to light these feather sticks. There you go. Nice and warm. Alright, now we're going to do some carving with this knife, and with the hologram section you can actually cut very well, as I already said. So, see right there. You know, although it's a rather thick knife, you can still slice with it fairly good. So that's really nice. You just put a point onto a stick. So you can take a lot of wood away fairly quickly. It's really nice for that. You can also just use the front part of the knife to chop a point onto the stick. It's really nice for doing that, because it's not too big. You know, when you have like a giant chopper, it becomes kind of unwieldy. Well, this is just the perfect size to do the craft chopping. So like that, you can also put a point onto a stick, or just shape a material or a piece of wood to a way you want it. Make a notch. We'll place the knife there. Now I'm gonna cut into here. Now you have a beautiful template. So this is the size of knife you could start, chop something off like that. You know, the limit tree. This tree is dead, by the way, so I'm not chopping down live trees here. As said, you know, with the a bit more weight up in the front, you can chop fairly well with it. And now, for your viewing pleasure, we're going to cut down this tree, which, by the way, as already said, it's dead. Alright, so now after all this work, I'm gonna see how sharp the Böker Plus Mini Tracker still is. So, you know, was shaving sharp before all the tests. See how the 10.5 held up. Okay, the front part is still sharp. Part we chopped with. Well, I felt like a slight resistance in one spot. Ah, so perfect. I mean, it has stalled a tiny bit, but it's still a very sharp blade. Now I sharpened this myself. No, it's not a factory edge, but so yeah, the front part has dulled a bit from all the chopping, but still, you know, a knife, you could still cut stuff with it. Still very sharp. So let's jump into the conclusion of this knife. And the first thing I want to say is that for the price you pay, you get an awesome knife and an awesome knife design. I don't know the exact price of this knife right now, but it's in the ballpark of around 80 bucks. And for that, you know, you get a 1095 steel, 5mm thick blade stock, my Carter scales, and a Dave Wenger design. And, you know, I gotta say also that I really like this design, and I'm actually thinking about getting the custom Wenger blades version of this. So yeah, design is awesome, material's awesome, especially for the price. It's a great deal. As a tracker knife overall, you compared to the Tops tracker, I gotta say, I mean, there are different sizes to the Tops tracker, but the one that's in the same size range, I might actually like this one more, because I do like not having the notch saw, or the little saw that Tops often does on their blades. I do like the concept of that saw. It's not really a saw, you use it to make notches into wood, but I do like it, the concept of that. but I think it depends on the knife and where you position it. And I think it doesn't really belong onto the tracker of this size. And I personally also really like that the handle of the Böker version, or the Böker tracker, is more rounder and thicker. It's just, you have a really comfortable handle here. And that's just really nice. The grind they chose with, you know, the hollow grind here, and then I'm going to talk about the grind in the front later, are really nice, you know. So you have a really slicey grind here, and then a tougher grind up in the front. That really makes sense. Also really like what they did here with the spine, that, you know, one or the front is rounded up, and that this side actually has 90 degrees sharp spine. Even, you know, with the coating and everything, it has a 90 degree. My spine has been used a lot. There's not much of the coating left. But yeah, even with the coating on the spine, it can throw some sparks. Now, the grind in the front is something very special. I don't know if new versions of this knife have this, but the old versions definitely all had this, and, you know, also mine. And that is that Böker, they tried to make a convex, or they did. It was kind of a convex, but with a secondary V edge, and it wasn't a traditional convex where you have, you know, just one angle. It was a flat, then a curvature, and then a flat again, and then the V edge. It was a very weird grind. So yeah, that grind was just really weird, and so I, you know, reground the whole blade up here in the front. I also mirror polished it, although that's, you know, years ago, so it's been scratched a lot and not really clean anymore. But you can still see it right there. Beautiful. So yeah, if you modify it a bit, you know, the grind, it's a really nice blade shape. Also round off the scales a bit. You know, they are really comfortable out of the box, but there were slight edges up here, so I also rounded that up. Now it feels even better. Yeah, so the knife overall for the price is really great. One thing I don't like about this knife is the sheath. It is Kydex, and, you know, you would think that for the price you pay, hey, you get a nice Kydex sheath, you know, it fits well. You can just put it on there. You have some nice holes here, so you can mount it onto something. So on the pictures, it looks really good, but the Kydex is super thin, and I have discovered basically that it started to crack right there. And I also see that on other people's Böker Plus Mini Tracker, that the Kydex starts to crack open right there. And this Kydex sheath hasn't been in like extreme cold conditions or like extremely hot conditions. It's just because the Kydex is so thin, it's just a weak point there. So that's one thing I really do not like. The sheath does work. You know, you can put your knife in it, and it's not gonna fall out. And, you know, it works as a sheath. Also comes with a little like Böker tag lock. I took that off because it's not really good. I have another one that I took off for this video because I wouldn't want to show that into the video. But the sheath works, and for the price, it's okay. You know, it's better than like some nylon crap. But yeah, it's just way too thin. I would say, you know, they could just say, okay, make the price 10 bucks higher, but then you get a nice Kydex sheath. That would be a lot better in my opinion. But overall, I still say that for the price, you get an awesome knife and an awesome package.
So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our Instagram, we have a lot of nice pictures and little videos about other knives, and I'll see you guys in the next one.